Hello, friends, and welcome back to Restore You. It is Angela, and we are about to get messy. So today we're going to play with something that has been in my stash for way too long, and it is some distress mediums from Ranger / Tim Holtz. And I thought it would be fun to just do a play about and experiment on camera instead of just kind of what I've done, which is very little, on my own. So before we get started, a shout out to all of the subscribers who are returning. I appreciate you very, very much. To our new subscribers, specifically Sherry B, Vital Signs 777, and Teresa M, thank you for joining us. And before I get too far, because I forgot in my last video and I'm doing several today, don't forget that in the month of June, I know we're not there yet, but in the month of June, we are going to have a sale on our Etsy shop to Restore You. And everything in the shop, including digitals and physical products, will be 20% off. It's our Schools Out for Summer, which is my celebration of maybe things slowing down a bit. I don't even know, but we will see. So the other thing I will tell you is some of the things that I'm going to show you, many of the things that I'm going to show you, I have got on Amazon, and I do have an Amazon affiliate link. So if there's something that you see that I mention is from there, hop over and you can click on the link, and it's to Restore You Essentials. There are plenty of other ones, but that's the one that you specifically want for all of my arts and crafts supplies. So that helps me a little bit, and it helps you to make it really simple when you're shopping. So here we go. What are you going to need? Well, if you want to play along, if you have any one of Tim Holtz distress mediums, then grab those out. We're going to start with just something really simple. I do have, and I didn't want to put those down because there's a big glare, but I have a bunch of stencils, and this is kind of what sparked this. So a while ago, I did a Rustic 7 challenge, and the girls at City View Dental, the dental office that we have, our team got all kinds of supplies and tools for me to use in the challenge. Well, one of the things that they gave me as a tool was Profi Paste. And when I put it, I thought, well, I'm just going to try this. I didn't get a chance to try this on camera, but I did it off camera. And this has been almost a week drying. But Profi Paste reminded me a lot, like, it's finally dry, I think. Oh, we might have to try it and see what happens with it. But it reminded me a lot of the grit paste. And so I was like, well, I need to hop on and do some things with what we've got. So I did get out some of my wallpapers because, I use those a lot. So I thought, well, it'd be interesting to see how they work on that. I have some mixed media paper, mixed media paper, watercolor paper, whatever you've got. I've got some tags. And then I have just a couple pieces of craft paper. And this is pretty thick. So we're just going to go ahead and get started. So let me show you my prototype. This and this were two that I did just to play around. I used just a piece of my book page from my glue book and just put down the texture paste, the opaque texture paste. Now, if you guys know me, you know that I have a little OCD issue. And it drives me crazy to have this, it's press and seal on there. But it really does work on any kind of your mediums to keep it lasting longer. So I deal with the fact that it's not perfect. So I thought we would just do a couple. Of course, they're not going to get done, but probably not going to get done. Most of these were not dry before I finished my different, tests on these. So we'll just play around, and I'll just talk a little bit and we'll just have a little fun. So the first thing that I think we should start with is just because I haven't used a tag, and I thought it would be fun to use a tag on the front where there's print with just some opaque texture paste. Now, if you don't know what opaque means, it basically means there's two things. Opaque is white. Just think this. Translucent is clear. So let's see. Do I have a test? I don't have I don't have the well, I don't even know if the texture paste comes in translucent, but if it does, translucent is just going to be clear. So think about using that when it comes to, maybe you have something beautiful that you want to just turn into something else, then you would put that over. You'll still be able to see everything on top. So what if we did, I'm keeping my stencils over here because they're so shiny. We're going to do, I still haven't taken it out. I don't know, maybe we should do this on the back. I'm thinking. Let's do it on the back. And instead of just using our texture paste, I don't know what will happen. Let's see. Should I read the directions? That would be useful. Paste the surface of the palette. Yep, it says I can colorize it wet. So we're going to colorize this. And I think we'll just use a little Distress ink. So I'm just putting a drop because I don't know what this will do. Remember, this is opaque. So that means that the color that we get out of this might be very different. So I did this on a different one of the texture pieces. And I added black, knowing that that black would end up turning gray. So remember that. But if I'm not mistaken, I mean, just read the directions, but on most of the things that I'm showing you, well, that looks like chocolate mousse. On most of the things that I'm showing you, they can be mixed with something else. If they can't, okay, now I'm going to have to try to be careful not to get this. Do you think I can do that? Probably not. Should we use a piece of tape? I think we need to just be safe. If I were off camera, I would not even worry about it, but because we're on camera, I'm going to put this on here. And just one other thing, which I guess I find obvious, but if you're new, you probably don't know this. I try my very best. Let's see, let me pull this up. To make sure, if you can tell what I'm doing, this tag is not straight, and it's not really the way I have it laid there. That's weird. But I try to just have the design, and when you have something like this that's not very wide, it's a little bit more difficult, but I'm going to try to keep it off the side so it just looks like it's continuing to flow off the side of the page. Now I'm using a very, oh, I do not want to get dirty. A very, very flexible metal palette brush or a palette knife. And all you do is just go over the top. Now, here's something that is important. Let's see, should I zoom in? Yeah. Let's pull this down just a smidgen. Do you see how that's covered, but yet you can still see everything through it? What happens a lot of times, and people get discouraged, and I remember doing this when I first started playing with textures, and I'm just going to tell you the truth. I wasn't using any Tim Holtz texture paste. I was using the spackling that was in my garage from one of our home renovations. And by the way, it does work. So if you don't have the ability and the means to get some maybe more expensive pieces, you can still make some of these with, I should do a whole video on that. You can still do a lot of these techniques by using spackling, and spackling is cheap. It's like really inexpensive. So a lot of times what my problem is that I tend to go lighter and not put enough on sometimes. But all you're doing is just kind of, and I'm going to leave a couple of these areas. So do you see how this is a little bit darker than all of this up here? I'm going to do that so you guys can see. And I'll probably have to come back with another video. And I don't want to waste this. Hold on. I'm going to find a little baby. Oh, I got a lot of it though. That's okay. Let's get this off and then I'm going to pull that down. I'm just going to keep using that tape. I've been recording videos all day and I noticed that I don't hear any bubbling over there from my diffuser. So I feel like I need to go turn it back on. It helps so much. Gosh darn it. Okay, here we go. Ta-da! Now, because I'm doing this on camera, I was having anxiety because I was like, what am I going to do with all my stencils? So I just went and got a baking pan and put them on there because I watched Tim Holtz do it and that's what he did. So it must be okay. That was beautiful. Okay, let's use this up. Well, I want to use this. Okay, let's just do it. And this one will make a little bit. Do you see how I'm doing that? I'm just kind of making little peaks. This so reminds me of back to Kim. If you're watching this, do you remember these days when we used to play with all these different mediums and we just have so much fun? I do. But now this is already tinted. So, but you already saw my example of something that wasn't. So there's that. We know what it turns out if it's white, right? But I have tried micas and I have tried alcohol inks and I've tried acrylic paint. All of them work. So I don't want to belabor this because I think I have at least 4, if not 5. And Tim suggests you press this down in it so that it keeps all the air out. So Timmy says it, we do it. Okay, so that's just opaque distress texture ink. Okay, what do we got next? I am loving it. I'm looking at this over here, this music note thing, and I'm like, oh, that's adorbs. All right, let me see. Oh, here's one that I have had for a very long time. It's Distress Collage Medium, but this is crazing. So if you don't know what crazing is, if you've ever seen like an antique piece of pottery or china, what happens with crazing is, let's see if I can show you this. Do you see this right here? That is what happens when an old piece of china starts to craze. It starts to crack. It's old. Basically, the outer shell or the layer, the glaze, is starting to craze and crack. And that is what we went with here. So here's what I did with this. I put the distress... Why can I not say that? The collage medium, the crazing collage medium, all over this. Then I waited for it to dry, and then I just took I did not take my dauber, which you could do, but that is not how I went about it. I took a little bit of Distress ink on my drop paper. I added a squirt of water. I took my nasty, which will be beautiful, I'm sure, when I get done with it, baby wipe, and then I wiped it all over the top. That is how we get crazy. Now, if you were like me and you were not patient, guess what? It's not going to go well for you. You need to wait. Okay, so here is the other way that I tried crazing. Now, this is right now. You can see this was one of those old photos that I told you didn't turn out. It could have been cute, but I popped the tag. Oh, and I don't have $20 in my pocket at the moment. But anyway, what I did first is, because it was shiny, I put down a layer of, I put down gesso, either gesso or Mod Podge, just to take the shine off. And then I added the Distress Collage Medium. Ooh, I said it right. Amazing. And then I waited, and it does curl, and it does kind of, you know, but look at that result. So if you had a photo, and you could, the reason that it starts to curl like that is because everything, almost all of them shrink, right? It's like, it sucks up all of that, and that is why you get the curling. So, you know, all it takes, and these vintage photos were already curling anyway, so you could just lay this down, put it under a book for a day or so after it's completely dry, and it would be fine. So let's try some crazing. I think we should do crazing, though, on something that is like something more like that paper, which I did not grab out. Oh, here's a perfect one. There we go. So pretty. So the texture paste was kind of like frosting, right? And this reminds me more like yogurt. That's what it looks like. And here's the bottle. And I've had this for a long time, so I don't know if it still comes in the same packaging, if they still do it, but it's Distress Collage Medium Crazing. So all we're going to do is make sure that our palette knife is nice and clean. I'm going to take this. And you don't need that much. I mean, I know it looks like a lot, but it's really not. And you don't want a lot of, what I noticed is that when I put this in really thick, it did not go so well. This will be so fun to see what it looks like when it's done. But remember, so this is airing on May 25th. And so I probably won't show this until I do a video on maybe Friday or the following Monday. But I'm going to leave. So that, okay, let me show you. I'm going to, I'm going to make a mess. Sorry, I didn't mean to yell. Do you see that big chunk there? I'm going to leave that like that. I might take a little bit off because that's pretty thick. And my daughter is home, and she doesn't know that I'm doing a video, although she should have read her text, and so she's welcoming herself home to the puppy. So if you hear craziness, that's her. So I'm going to leave that there just so you can see what this looks like, okay? And we'll put that aside too. I know the unfortunate part is that you don't get to see the finished result in this video, but at least we can play. I'm looking. It says Crazing is a Crackle Glaze gel for medium for gluing, layering, and sealing mixed media projects. Applied directly on porous surfaces only. So like if I did it on this flat surface, like this tag, no bueno, not going to work. Dries translucent, which is clear, with a subtle cracking craze matte finish. Used with Tim Holtz Distress Collage Medium Brush. Or with whatever tool that you have that works. All right. And I'm putting these, I have to put the bottle next to, the pieces that I do, or else I'll forget what I did. Okay, let's work with some Crackle Paste. While we're talking about Crackle Paste, we have two different kinds, and we have opaque and translucent. Now, I did do a sample so you guys could see. This is translucent. As you can see, this is what it looks like clear. So if I take, oh, I just juiced this up, so it's going to be really juicy. Ooh, that's not going to work. Hold on, let me get a little water on it. All right, I'm making a mess. Darn it. I knew I shouldn't have done that. But the nice part is that you can use water on top of it and it will. Okay, but then you can see a little bit more. There you can see the craze. It's crazy. And then this one, I used some embossing glaze, which is also what I would say is clear or translucent. Now below, here is the Crackle, which is the very same as the texture paste, but this is white, and these are the effects that you get. So this is how it ends up, and this is when I put the ink on it, and this is when I embossed it. And I embossed this dry, just so you know. So let's have a little fun with that. I really want to try this on a piece of wallpaper. So, because I have not done that, so I don't know. Well, let's see. We'll try one on opaque and one on, let's do this one on opaque and this one on translucent. And when it dries, we'll come back and look at it. Okay, this too, oops, I need to wipe off my knife. I'm wondering if we should do, no, let's do this just flat about, but let's do something more fun with that. Ooh, I love the feel of that. It feels like actually wallpapering. Have any of you ever wallpapered? I have to say, I personally have never done it myself. My dad is the expert at wallpapering, but he hates doing it. Okay, I made that really thin. Let's do another spot, just like I said, like in an area that we don't care about. That's a little thicker, and see how that turns out. All right, voila. Let's pick it up with a palette knife. Here's what it looks like. We'll see what it looks like after it dries. Okay, let's put the lid back on that. Of course, there's some from the top of the lid. I should have got all of that out. This is the only problem, or the only thing I don't like is it's hard to get the lid on right. Okay, let me move this out of the way. Okay, let's pick another. I need to do a project where this drop piece is going to get like really amazing. Because right now it's not looking very pretty. Let's see. How about if we try some flowers on top of the wallpaper? Because that's just kind of a blah background, right? I'm just really curious because I have not tried any of these with wallpaper. What will happen, because, you know, these are wallpaper samples. So I don't know if they will, at least I don't think I did. Is this wallpaper? No, no wallpaper. If they just like really curl because of the paste on the back. So again, do you see how I'm doing that? I'm just moving it so well, it's not big enough. So it is what it is. We'll just deal. Oh, wrong end. This, by the way, if you're wondering, is a humongo roll. It's purple, lavender. Delicate surface, 3M. This is what you would use on your walls if you were painting and you had like textured walls and you don't want the paint to come off. So good to know if you're painting, but also good to know if you're crafting that there's a lot of, we got problems, kids. There we go, got it. There are a lot of products out there. We're going to use as much as we can out of here because clearly something's getting stuck on there. I'm just going to stick that down for the moment. There are a lot of products out there that you can buy specifically for crafting, but that is a huge, huge roll. Okay, here's what else I'm going to do so you guys can see this. Do you see how that got in there? And it was making it really difficult to shut that. Cleaning that off, just getting as much out of there as I can. I feel wasteful, but you'll really waste a lot if you don't get that lid on right and end up compromising your entire jar. Now, this is also kind of like yogurt, I would say. I should have went back and watched. I watched Tim and Mario's video when they debuted this because I had some, and I did order a couple. Well, I ordered several, actually. And I didn't do it. It probably would have helped. I probably would have more tips. But you know what? He's the expert. So if you want to really know from a pro, go check out his video. And this is no different. If you've ever drywalled, this is no different than drywalling. Like you don't, or, you know, spackle the wall to save it from paint. You don't want to overdo it. So see, you can still see that entire design from what I'm doing, right? Okay, let's put the, oh, let's read this one. Apply with a palette knife to colorize, tint it, mix it in with paint. Oh, and you know what else we can do with it? We're going to do, this is why that stuck. Because there was too much on the top of that paper. Yuck. Okay, we're going to do this. Let's see. I need to put that in right there. Let's pull it up. And I remember one thing that he did. I don't know if I'm going to do it well. Oh, this is not how And truly, guys, you don't have to be this dainty about it. I just don't like to get my hands all nasty. Just use my nail. Look, oh my goodness. No, I don't want to do anything with that one because I think it's just too pretty like it is. So we're going to keep that one like it is, and we're going to try another one. want to show you something. This is the very same thing on a piece of just thin, not copy paper, but like scrapbook paper, but normal weight, like probably 120, 140. Look at the effect. Here's what was coolest. And it will be interesting to see if that turns out like this, and we'll try it on another piece of paper. But look at this. It turned out like it was embossed. And then I used my ink dauber to do that. Isn't that amazing? I mean, I would use this instead of that other page because it's so beautiful. So let's try it. We're dealing with the Crackle Paste. Okay, let's clean this off. And now I need another wipe. Okay, so, oops, sorry guys. And what I have underneath here, I always say it, it's just wallpaper. It's just paper. Nothing fancy. Let's pick another. I have all of these that are like, here, let's try this. So there's these flowers. Let's just try this right in the middle. And I just put it away. Really, Angela? Oy, oy, oy. That's a nice part about that is you can use it over and over and over again. Okay, so I'm right in kind of the middle of it. And, you know, it hardly takes anything. You know, from an interior design perspective, there are lots of things that you can do to make crackle happen in paints and stuff. Have I tried them on papers? Not most of them, no. But if you have them hanging around, what's the worst that can happen? You lose a piece of paper and a little bit of whatever your medium is, so try it. Ooh, that's way too much. And I know you can't see this. I wish I could show you from a side angle what it looked like, but I think that would be... It might not make you feel very good if I started flipping. I don't want you to get seasick. It's just kind of like layering on icing on a cake, except not as thick. And if you miss a couple spots, big deal. I mean, that's what makes it look unique, right? But look at that. I hardly used any on my knife, and that's all I've got left. So just remember, use it sparingly. You can always add more. It's real hard to take things back. Although this is pretty easy to do, but... Okay, let's put the lid back on. This particular video, I mean, some of the things that Tim and Mario debut, I don't have. So, you know, it's always fun to learn more, but this one particularly was fun because if I didn't have the exact thing, I had something similar. So I'm just taking my finger and literally sticking my fingernail there and pulling away. And I don't know if there's a, I don't know, I might have missed that in his tutorials, but I don't know if there's a proper way to do it or not. But see, it's already curling. So we're going to take that and lay it aside. Hold, please. And we'll see what that looks like tomorrow. Actually, probably not tomorrow because I will be on the road on vacation. All right. Gosh, we're going through quite a few baby wipes in this process. Please don't judge. I usually use them over. Okay. I'm just cleaning off stuff. What do we have left? I'm looking here. Oh, I have grit paste. So here's the two ways that I did grit paste. Okay, here's the first one. This is the one. These can be painted. This I used acrylic paint, which was black, and I knew would turn gray because remember, it's opaque. So that's white, and you're mixing black and white, and make gray. And then this one, I used mica powder with. So I thought we would do one of those. So let's try it. I wonder if, so what I got out to do that was this piece of, let's just try it on that. Oh, I can't use the same one because I just put it in the water. I don't know. What shall we, let me find something. Ooh, what if we just did, okay, this is what this looks like. I know you can't tell, but it's like a big, we could either do this right on it, which is a flower, or we could do this, which is, what do you think if we just do part of it and then we can make it into a journal card? Grit paste, here we come. Oh, how did I do that? We'll do it both ways. We'll use the mica powders that I have for this one, and then we'll do one if we have time. Let me look at my time. Oh gosh, we're doing great. And then we'll do one with acrylic paint, because that's probably more at the ready for you guys than a lot of things. And this is probably not even, I don't care. We're just having fun. Okay, frosting it up. And the cool part about it is, like, you couldn't really see that design. And so you're like, oh, where do I put it? Well, as soon as you start putting it down, you can see that design, and it works perfect. And I don't need any more. What am I doing? The other tip that I would give you is keep going back and forth with your palette knife, because there's a lot that gets put on there. Do you see how that just happened? See, there's still tons. So you just, and I'm telling you guys, before you invest, and I'm sure there's no one out there that would tell you otherwise, but before you invest in, you know, spending the money on some of these others, go ahead and, you know, grab some spackling and just play with it and see if you even like to do it. Because if you don't, there is no reason that you should have a supply that's just sitting in your craft room that you're never, ever, ever going to use. You know, I had used the spackling in years past, many, many years past, to do mixed media just because it was kind of fun, and I had no idea who Ranger was or Tim Holtz, so that's what I used, and it worked fine for me. I could layer on it, I could paint on it, I could add all the things that I'm showing you. I wish I could find, they must all be in storage somewhere, all of my old art books and such. Okay, this one's going to be a little more tricky to get off because it's big. Look how pretty that is. All right, I need to tuck this in because I'm getting enough stencils in there that they need to be pushed down. But once that dries, it's going to be gritty. Gritty like, where's my gritty one? Gritty like that. Or gritty like this. And you can just, it's really got a nice texture to it. So now what we're going to do, we're just going to play. So we have 3 colors of pinkish. Well, this is going to be, hold on. I have somewhere in my bag of tricks, yes. That's not it. Hang on. That's not it either. Shoot, I know I had a spoon. Well, we're going to work with what we got. Somewhere I have like little teeny tiny baby spoons like this. Like this is literally in my hand, tiny. But I'm feeling like I can't get this out. How did I do it last time? I don't even remember. Well, we'll try this. I'm just going to take an itty bitty tiny bit. Well, I guess that's where we're going with it. The problem with a mica is it's mica. And so it's like harder to get onto it. Because see what happens to your flanges? Uh-huh. Now, when you do that with embossing glaze, it's fine. Let's stop for a second. And I'm not going with a specific pattern. I just want to show you guys how to do this. But maybe I sprinkled it. I mean, I had to have because I did not use any of this stuff. Let's just do it. What do we have to lose? Okay. Now, where was I? Right here. Oh, I think I must have. Yep, I did. I think this time I'm not going to lift up any of where I sprinkle until I'm actually all the way done. I thought I took this out. See that? It's the little protector, which probably should be in there, but I'm a risk taker. I'm crazy like that. I'm just tapping. Tap, tap, tapping. I don't know. We could get some green out and try to do I mean, because the thing with this is that... No, I don't remember which color I used. Oh, I used those two. The thing with this is that... well, that looks the same. Apparently it's not. Okay. Look at that. See? I just flipped it over. That looks really horrific, but it really doesn't when it's done. Let's get a green out. I only have a couple. What do I have left? Do I have anything? Oh, I was going to show you how to do this with paint. But maybe we'll just use the regular Crackle. Or, I mean, the regular texture paste. Remember, I'm not the pro. I'm just having fun. So if you want to see a pro at work, I'd suggest go check out Tim. But what I do want to tell you is anyone can do this. Like, this is not difficult. I kind of want to have one more color of green. Wowza, are my hands a mess. Good thing I'm getting my nails did tomorrow. So it's this video is a little hard for me to like talk about what's going on in my life because I gotta concentrate. I hope everything is great in your life. These almost look like the same color when they're on this paper, but they're totally different. Okay, there we have it. Look at my hands. This is what you get in for. Okay, now remember, I'm just going to... Oh, I forgot those. Well, we're going to leave those white. Flip it. Tap it. And let's just see what happens when it dries. I mean, this is what happened when we used 2 different colors of purple. Pretty, pretty, pretty. All right, now what should I do with this mica powder? I didn't do that last time, and I hate to... Oh, you know what we can do? Watch. I better put this away. Get it out of the way. I don't know what's going to happen to this. I mean, I haven't a clue. But we're going to do it anyway. We need, let's just take this sample piece, put that there. Put this here. You're not going to be able to see this. Don't get dizzy. Close your eyes. I'm just tapping. I folded my paper in half and I'm tapping. It can't make this piece look any worse than it already did. That's faux show. Okay, there's what that looks like. That's my Profi Paste from the dental office. We still do have a lot on me, but we're just going to wipe it off. Oh, well, at least we got some color on here now. A little, if I don't take it all off. Okay, last but not least, have we done everything? We've done opaque texture paste. We've done, look at how good this is looking, you guys, by the way. This is the regular opaque texture paste. Isn't it gorgeous? The rest of them, not so dry yet. Okay. Let's do this one. Regular texture paste. And let's do it on a tag on the front. I need a stencil. Or maybe on the back. No, because that could be a journaling card. Okay, let's just do it right here. Now, we need to make this a pretty color, and we're going to use acrylics this time. This is metal paint, and I am really curious to see how this turns out. So far, what I've experienced is that metal paint works great with pretty much everything. And I know that sounds weird, but I haven't had it go wrong yet. Ah. I just didn't want that to get in the way of our design. So can you see this? Yes, you can. But you can't see the rest. Dang it. Let's see if that little tiny bit, it was less than a half a teaspoon. Hold on. We'll cover this whole thing. I'm curious. Now, could you, no, heck no. Could you make, well, that's kind of actually a great idea. Let's just do it. Hang on, where'd that go? Okay, so that's kind of dark, right? Oh, I'm mixing. That was a bad idea. Hold on. Getting all that out. Okay, now, I just don't want to use too much because I'm afraid I don't want to waste it. And I can't put this colored stuff back. Okay, but now this is lighter, quite significantly lighter. So let's just see what happens. Oh, that's pretty. This is looking very William Morris-esque, isn't it? Okay, so you can continue to just like play with your colors, add more pigment, which is your paint. Add less pigment. Should we go really dark? It's too much. Because of course, we're putting on the dark. If we go really dark, we're going dark in the last layer, so that's really not a good idea. But we're gonna do it anyway. And this is just normal texture paste. This is not... Ooh, I like this. This is going to be so pretty. Almost like an ombre effect, right? All right, now let's go really, really light over the rest of it. We'll see what happens. Okay, that means we need a... I just touched that on there. So hopefully... I almost want a little bit of the white in there. We're going to do it. This may end up being my favorite or will absolutely be horrible. I don't know. We're going to call this a video, and I apologize that we can't come back and look at these dried because none of them are dry at all. But I will promise you on the next video that I will do that. And I want you to remember that you need to always take time to just be. Take time for you and have a little fun doing whatever you love to do. And oh my goodness. That is gorgeous. Look at that. Beautiful. And until next time, friends, cheers. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.